What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN, USD. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you for being here. It is the 14th day of May, and we are sitting at about $0.0035 with roughly 10 hours and 23 minutes left in the day. Up about 3.5%, nice to see. A little bit of volatility. It says if you're finding support in this trajectory, almost, maybe you're missing it just a little bit. It's actually more bullish than it is bearish. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll zoom back out. Try not to dilly out too much in this video. 1 hour time frame. Looking at this here. Volume's coming in a little bit. You move down. It does look as if you are breaking out of this kind of downtrend here. Volume's coming in on this move. It's nice. It actually does make me think we'll see a little bit of a retracement relative to this move here. This move, of course, being a lower high relative to this over here. Retracing this move does not in itself provide higher highs. Getting above this high would really look positive for seeing higher highs above here, and I would become bullish if we get above this high. It depends on how we do it, but most likely I would become bullish. I'll let you guys know if and when that happens. For now, we're still maintaining the bearish approach. The bearish approach being that this is the highest for the top here, and that we could and likely do go lower. This may just be an A, B, C correction, and we continue to go lower. Actually, it would not be an ABC correction, rather. Technically, it would not be. Because the ABC would come from here. This would have been your ABC correction back here. This is something else. Anyways, like a random flip or something. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame. The RSI has taken on a bit of a bullish shape. Okay? We went from these lower lows, lower highs kind of trend to moving sideways, and now we're moving up. We are at the overbought zone. And we've consistently gotten overbought. We have reluctantly been oversold. We actually didn't even get oversold here, even though we tried a bunch of times. Hold on. Sorry guys, hold on. Man, I'm sick. Just a little bit sick. Okay, hold on. Yeah, my throat. Anyways, stochastics are overbought. We've been overbought for a second, it looks like. And the MACD is bearish overall. You know, as bullish as this looks, and as much as I want to say that you continue moving up, you're kind of at a proving point here, where I doubt that you break too much higher than this. Maybe you consolidate back and then you try again later. Maybe. This really could be the high point, though, in which you do start to go lower. And when I say lower, I mean lower than this low. We look at this here in the context of high to low here. We're right above the 382. It's fairly common to wick above the 382 like this and then close below it. So watch for it. We got 20 minutes left. This video won't last another 20 minutes. If you're looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, you see that we're closing below the 382 level. We wicked all the way here, but we're closing below the 382. That would be very incriminating that we are, in fact, going to go lower. If and when we get below 00343, we get below 00343, at that point we validate this rejection, and we also really up the chances that we go below this low. If we had a little bit of a scale, I would think something in the area of 00326 to 00312, something in this area, would be the next kind of target zone. Let's look at the indicators again real quick. Hold on. Actually, I want to take this fib first. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty common. Pretty common to go from the boom ratio to this exact area and then work your way back down, man. You get back down here, and the probability that you go down to this zone is pretty high. Moving up down to these lows with something around 00326 to 0032. Very, very possible. RSI is right at a point to reject being at the overbought zone here. There's no real structure, right? Here you have some structure. Higher lows, higher highs. Here you have structure, lower lows, lower highs. This is just a move, and I think it's a result of breaking out of this downward structure. It's just a move. It's just a little impulse, a bull trap, if you will. And we're at a point right here to reject. Stochastics has been overbought for a second, and this is all you got. This is a reset of the stochastics ready to move back down. The MACD bearish, it's crossed below zero. You've seen a little bit of green here, and you're back at the zero to find resistance. I think that you're not going to make it much past where you are now. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if by the time most of you watch the video, that the price is below where it is now. The 4-hour time frame, the RSI overall is very bullish on the 4-hour. It is. But you are recovering from what has been some of the weakest readings you've seen in months now. You went from getting overbought like this to getting overbought like this and this and this, right? You were getting overbought fairly consistently and above the 80 level. So now you were struggling to get out of the overboughts, and you got in and out. It's not a positive look. Not only that, but in this least bullish look here, you got the most bullish look. Things are changing. I think things are changing. In the grand context of all this, it looks very bullish, and it has been. It's been a very good time for anybody holding Zebec. But the signs are there. Something's shifting in the tides. Stochastics are right at the 50. Perfect area to find resistance and reject. You've done that before. You do it here. Blue line's a little bit separated from the orange line. I think you will move down. Yeah, I'm growing more and more confident that's what's going to happen. The MACD here is at the zero. You could find support here. This is the one kind of bullish prospect that we're seeing. But if you continue to cross through, if you build bearish momentum, you see that deep red cover come in again, then it's over, man. Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that you've broken this structure here, this high structure here in your oscillators, doesn't give me a lot of hope. This is a bullish kind of area to find support if you do. But it's also very catastrophic to the downside if we move down. So the 4-hour time frame, maybe I shouldn't say very catastrophic. But what it would imply is that this is the beginning of a move down. This is the corrective phase in that move, and we probably see something again that takes us down around these lows. If not lower. If not lower. I think we'll find support around 0032. Move up a little bit back, test for resistance, and then proceed lower. It's not going to be all at once. But it is going to be. The daily time frame here, looking at the RSI. Again, just bouncing here, getting overbought, bouncing here, getting overbought, bouncing here, getting overbought, bouncing here, and not getting overbought. You've meandered in the zone a little bit before, but it just, to me, it seems different, man. I don't know. You get below the 50, it's definitely different, and you're slowly rounding off here on the lows, too. I think you have a day with destiny, and that destiny is downwards, not upwards. Stochastics rejecting the overbought area. You did bounce off the 50, which is nice. Kind of jumping sideways, stochastics aren't going to be as reliable. The MACD has been red for a second. Depending on how today closes, you might be killing off your bearish momentum, which is again another positive thing. But if you close today red, or if you move down, you reject a little bit, and you start to build that bearish momentum again, I mean, you could be at a point where you start to see lower lows here in the MACD, and that would really be a problem. We're still not at that point where we can have our victory lap and say the top is in definitely. I have maintained that the top is in. I've maintained that that's my prediction, that that's my call. But as far as the charts are concerned, that's not validated yet. I would say we get below this low here, with this being a lower high. We get a lower low and a lower high. At that point, the top is validated. Whereas before, I think we would have needed to see a close below these daily highs to validate the top. I think at this point, getting a lower low will validate the top. At this point, all I'm saying is at this point, it is still possible to go higher. It is still possible that I could be wrong. I'm wrong before, I'll be wrong again. I don't think you're going to new all-time highs, but sure, maybe you go up a little bit higher. If you do go up a little bit higher, this will be a primary sell. But I'm maintaining the thought that this is the high. That's the actual high. I don't think that we see this high. But if we do go higher, it's a fake out high. We go up here, we see this fake out high. I'm not going to pretend I was right. But I'm also not going to dog myself like I was wrong. I don't care if I call for the high to be here, and it was here, and I'm talking about a move that's going to be That's all it is, man. Not just conscious, but even complete profits. This is profit taking land. And a lot of the volume has come up here. There's a lot of volume down here too. And I'm assuming that we will quickly move down. Once we get below these levels here, that's when the real panic selling will start. But we'll see. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you all. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.